What is up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And today it is time for a Kaspa technical analysis update. All right, so we're going to break down the chart today. And let me advise you that this is definitely not technical advice. Technical advice? What am I talking about? This is not financial advice. You know what I mean. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm only providing commentary, and don't make decisions based on what I'm talking about and then come back complaining, well, Carlton said that it was going to go to the moon in 5 minutes and now I'm broke. So if you go broke because you can't do your own research, it's on you. Starting with the 4-hour chart. Since our last update, we were talking about the support and resistance zone that is notated by the green box. And this is a very bullish looking chart. Now we have what could be the formation of a big overall bull flag with this zone of consolidation that is continuing. And at, best case scenario, if we made a flagpole, and let's say if we threw that flagpole up here to the peak, and then we run on out, we could be looking at something that could be like breaking pretty soon in a big major way. So this is looking very bullish. But on the immediate, when we zoom into the chart, let's just scale this up a little bit. The one thing I noticed on the 4-hour chart, which is what I was going to say yesterday had I gotten a video up and did not have the time to do it, I was going to say, watch out. We were at this price here. I was going to say that we were looking somewhat bearish on the 4-hour, but look for a correction that will either take us to the 50 EMA or back down to the support resistance box. Well, it looks like we have already done the first part, which was wick down to the 50 EMA. Could we be done? Possibly not, because we are looking at a rollover on the stochastic. We have a definite divergence between the fast and slow line right there, and we have an impending crossover of the MACD oscillators right here, and we are also just about to cross over and flop down below the zero line where the histogram is printing light green bars. Now, our biggest volume node is right here at the top of the support resistance zone box. And that's where I think that we could possibly see a bounce. So now that we have touched on the 50 EMA, I'm thinking, my guess is that we come on back down and touch the box or get into the zone and then jump out of that again and continue to consolidate around this volume node. Okay, so that's what the 4-hour is telling me. Now, we could also fail this box if something, the market takes a steep dive south. We could come on down to this 2.2 cents level that is centered on this volume node. Worst case scenario, we've got that big volume node down at 0.016. So I would say the probabilities are 1 here, coming down to 2.2 cents, 2. And the least probability coming in third place, a distant third, is the 1.6 cents point. Now let's move to the 1-day chart. And let's get some action in here. And this 1-day chart is looking rather interesting, where it also confirms the 4-hour. So on a bigger time frame, which lets me know that the consolidation period is probably going to continue, I'm thinking that we do this for a while, that we stay centered on this volume node that sticks out also on this chart at 3 cents. Which coincides with the top of the box of the support resistance zone. We could fall into the box, or we could bounce off the box as support. Sitting right in front of us, staring us in the face, is an impending crossover of the stochastic. We already have a bearish cross on the oscillators on the MACD. And we looked like we were going to come back up and cross here, but now they're diverging there. And you'll notice that we have printed a solid red bar on the histogram. So that is bearish indication number 1, bearish indication number 2, bearish indication number 3. Now, that doesn't mean doom and gloom. It just means that we'll probably stay within the confines of this consolidation zone that we are currently in. And when we draw a few more things on the chart, like a bull flag, if we made a flagpole here, this is looking even more clear. Okay, so when we kind of connect the dots and the wicks and the bottoms, you could probably make a bull flag here, which makes sense because volume is looking good. Consolidation is a positive thing. We are building up to the point where the Rust rewrite will be complete. The Genesis block is done, if I'm not mistaken, and we could come plowing out of this and hit the next monumental level. I'm thinking that when this breaks out, if you replace this flagpole, I mean, I hate to even say this because it's just too bullish, but it's off the chart there. I would have to clear this and scrunch this down so we can get a flagpole here and just see what the measured move is. So if we start here and we've got our nice little bull flag that is forming like this, and then we take our pole and we replace it at a breakout point, good Lord, that's like upwards of 8 cents. Can it happen? Yeah. Will it happen? I don't know. But it's not going to happen until we finish the consolidation period here. So overall, I'd say that it's looking pretty healthy. Now let's just jump to the 1 week chart, and then we're going to draw some comparisons with other projects. The 1 week chart, we definitely confirmed that we hit a local peak. There's the crossover, and there's nothing more definite than that. And here it is where we pushed all the way up to 4.5 cents, came down, corrected, but found support in that support resistance zone at 3 cents. So my eyes are on the support resistance zone. Does this hold and level us up to the next solid base? Before, we noticed that we had our all-time peak. We had a nasty correction all the way down, but then we came back up, and this could be the overall support of worst case scenario. So if this correction fails this support resistance zone, worst case scenario would be, let me clear this out, worst case scenario would be coming back down to the previous peak. Okay, and that's just under 1 cent. We'll have to wait and see what happens, because we had a very long period of time of consolidation as we rode this stochastic up to the peak. And you can see that that coincides right here on the price line from the intermediate low point after the previous consolidation, which you can see that on this chart. If we move this up, let's see here. Let me turn drawing mode off, pull this up, stretch this out. You can see where my data points were on here before we were on trading view. Now, what do you notice? We had a peak here and a correction there. And then we came up, new peak here, and we corrected, but it did go below that previous peak. But then the next run up, here's our peak. And where did we correct? It was a little bit below that last peak, but here was our new baseline of support. And that was at 0.004. I think that's when I finally decided stop playing around, buy back in, and don't trade it anymore. And then, of course, we had our monumental run all the way up to the blow-off top. I don't know if you could call that a blow-off top. It's just the peak of this particular run. But I'm thinking we're going to have to see somewhat a cycle down here and then possibly a move back up once we hit into the real bull run. Overall, I'm not worried. I would hope that I get an opportunity to pick up more. So if we do happen to correct down here towards this base, I don't see that as a negative. I see that as a positive, as I will accumulate and then wait. Accumulate and wait. That's the mantra. So if we get down to here, I accumulate and then we blast off from there. That's how I'm playing it. And that's not financial advice. Now let's jump over here to the CoinGecko website, because I'm going to draw some comparisons with Kaspa and some of our other well-known projects. All right, let's see here. Starting out with Kaspa, of course, you can see that we are sitting at the 3.4 cents with a volume, 24-hour volume is 12 million. All right. And I'm on the wrong one. Let me change this because I think it's in my majors group. Here we go, because I want to show you this very impressive comparison here. Let's scrunch this in so we can see them all. Here we go. Now, we notice, let's start with Polygon, Matic, with nearly 300 million trading volume over the last 24 hours. Solana, wow, nearly 1 billion trading volume over the last 24 hours. Polkadot, 220 million of trading volume last 24 hours. And then here's Kaspa at 12 million. So that's quite a bit of ways, and lets me know that we have a lot of market cap to be consumed with this project if all goes well. Now, if we scroll down, we will notice that we are above Kadena, KDA at 8.6 million volume. That's impressive. That's very impressive. And we're also above AMP, which I'm losing my faith and confidence in AMP. I'm just not impressed with the action on AMP. We see Alchemy Pay, which is a juggernaut, at 78 million. And I think that Kaspa has similar use case to ACH. And we see where ACH is right now. Price-wise is at 4 cents, while Kaspa is just under 4 cents with much less trading volume. So as we push forward to that next level, I think that when we hit this kind of volume, we're going to definitely go past that next target of 8 cents on the measured move. Now look at this, Flux at 6 million. So we are above Flux, which is a very solid project. We have passed Kadena, and price-wise, we have caught Alchemy Pay. So this is a very good big picture here that we're looking at. So we are waiting and watching for the Rust rewrite to complete, and in anticipation of Kaspa becoming a project that is used for transfer of pay, for payments, a payment project. It has utility as e-commerce, as being an instrument of trade for e-commerce, for regular trading. And what I would like to know is, will they, maybe when the smart contracts comes out, maybe if you're an expert, you can answer this question. If you're going to use Kaspa for goods and services, for purchase of goods and services, for business to business and business to consumer, will there be some type of utility where Kaspa is automatically converted to the instrument that is used for normal trade, like a US dollar or some other foreign currency, where companies can say, okay, I can still, speak in the terms of the USD that I'm used to trading, and Kaspa is on the back end because of its ability to do so many transactions like the Visa network. Can someone answer that for me, please? Because I think if that happens, because I think that's how the Bitcoin Lightning Network, I think that's what they're looking to do, where you are in terms of US dollars and it's automatically done on the back end where the transfer from one currency to the other is made, and then it settles in the currency of the recipient. So if that happens with Kaspa, I think that this could be really huge. Reason being, if Kaspa can do the job of the Visa network and a better job of it, then all bets are off. I think we've got ourselves a club banger right here. Well, that's all I've got for now, but I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Pro channel. And you can help me support the channel by the contribution of a super thanks. The cost of producing this channel, it's getting more by the day. So I thank you in advance for your contributions. We'll watch, keep our eyes on the birdie. And for now, this is Carlton, and I am out.